nearly immediately put
Did
it
he
in.
put the dead
water.
one back in, or he threw her out?
Dead one's out.
Okay.
Yeah, dead one's definitely out. Yeah, so this was some of the magic that Billy talked about. So when you dequeen the colony, you take your new queen in a cage, and before you start trying to introduce her, you just set her on the top bars, and you just observe. What are the bees doing with that queen? That's the most important step of any of these things. Just look at how those bees are reacting to that queen in the cage. You want to remove the worker bees, the attendants, from that queen before you put her on the top bars. So remove the worker bees first.
How are you getting them out of the cages?
That's where this little cage comes in helpful, and I've done that before.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps a lot because worker bees are seen as more foreign entities.
Yeah.
So remove the workers, set the queen on the top bars, and just watch. What you're looking for is interest. You're not looking for them to be totally disinterested, but you're not looking for a mob to swarm them, grab the cage and start stinging it. That's the thing that really tells you this colony is not going to accept that queen. So if they start biting at the cage, putting their abdomen down like they're trying to sting through the screen, that colony is not ready, so back away. I would recommend, if you see that and you know the colony is queenless, go ahead and put her in the colony, but with that JZBZ cage, I would have the top covered, no access to the candy. And she has that region inside there that allows her to stay safe, that plastic region right here, so she can stay safe without being mauled by workers.
But who's gonna feed her then?
She's got queen candy.
That's it. But how about water?
How about water?
Yeah, I mean. I
The
think they-
humidity in the colony is probably enough to handle that.
With the JVCB cage, you're hanging it with the,
I use a toothpick, so the way I do it is, so there's the side with the candy in it, it's here, and so naturally with the weight of the candy, you want to do that. There's no other bees other than the queen. I put a toothpick right through this top hole here. So there's going to be a toothpick sticking out like that, and it'll just drop between two frames. And you want to put that queen right between brood frames. Don't put her out on the edge next to honey or pollen, right inside the brood chamber. If there wasn't any brood in the colony, put some brood in the colony, and then put her between or right adjacent to brood. So find the center of brood nest, separate the middle frame. There should be open and capped brood in the area. Open brood is best. Insert the cage right there. This is what Billy did. He had a dilute mixture of honeybee healthy in a spray bottle. And he would not spray the queen. Before he put the queen down, he'd take that and just very quickly spray the top of the frames. So it masked the pheromone of the previous queen. So then he would then take his queen and place her in the middle of the brood chamber.
That's what I always taught too.
Yeah, it works. It works quite well, actually. So bees seem to accepting the queen. So if the bees seem to be accepting the queen, then you can expose the candy. Michael Palmer, again, has a great video on this. What's it called? Forgot the name of his website. Does anybody know Michael?
French Hill Apiary.
French Hill Apiary. He has now a new website, and one of the tabs is videos, and he has how do you tell if a colony is queenless. There's a great video. Watch that video. It's super good, man. But basically, if the bees walk over to your queen and they start trying to feed the queen through the cage, that's a good sign. It's almost always accepted. But that placing the queen on the top bars and just observing it, that is the most important part from my perspective. Just see how they're approaching that queen, make sure that they're not aggressive to the queen.
How would you tell between biting and feeding? Look for the tongue?
You can look for the tongue, or you can simply pick up the cage and just lightly try to brush the bees away from the cage. If the bees are locked on that cage, you can't move them with your finger. Then they're not trying to feed that queen, they're trying to sting that queen. So when they're stuck on there like Velcro, they're not happy. But when you just brush them away with your finger, they're okay. They're most likely feeding the queen.
And then HVAC mixture, is that do 4 points?
It's
All water,
very
just a tiny little bit of HVAC?
tiny little bit, yeah. You don't want to overpower the colony with
It's like
this
a teaspoon in a big full
in a
spray bottle.
big spray bottle, yeah.
Before the HVAC was used, old beekeepers told me vanilla extract.
Anything probably would work, and that's the thing. I don't actually have Honeybee Healthy, I have this other thing, it's called Bee Scent. It's a artificial queen pheromone smell, and I use that. So you have to buy it on a special website. I don't have that site, but Honeybee Healthy works, or probably vanilla or some other smell works. You just want to kind of overpower the existing pheromone smell from the old queen. And so again, if bees show aggression, then make sure the colony is truly queenless. If aggressive, no queen is found, place the queen in the colony, but don't expose the candy. A couple days later, go back and reevaluate. So many beekeepers, when they come up to the house, they say, I ream out this candy, right? I'm like, no, do not ream out the candy. It's designed to be 3 days. You ream it out, it's about a day, if that. So don't ream out the candy unless it's a package. If you're introducing a package, I'm good with reaming out candies in packages. I try not to kill old queens unless she's aggressive. Generally put her in a nuke. If the requeening fails, I'll just swap her back in until I can get her another queen. So I try to minimize downtime. Generally, don't disturb a requeen for at least 3 days. Don't go back in. Is my queen okay? Is my queen okay? 3 days is a bare minimum, I believe. If it's a big colony, particularly a big colony. There's some online, a guy out in east or the western part of the country says don't touch them for 10 days. That's a lot. You gotta be a pretty patient fellow or lady to go in there and just say 10 days, I'll see you. But no sooner than 3 days for an inspection.
Now, was that just testing to see if they took her?
Yeah, I requeened. I had some experience. It's probably not transferable to full-size colonies, but I had a observation colony that the queen died. I usually put my older queens in an observation hive for, festivals, that kind of thing. And I had it running for a few weeks, and the queen just died. I'm not quite sure why. But another queen, I went to requeen that, and because there was just a single frame observation hive, and it was in a room where I was constantly turning lights on and off, the bees were kind of agitated, and I was not successful requeening that colony. That surprised me because there were so few bees that I guess it was the constant disturbance they were seeing from me, basically. I don't know, I'm not quite sure. But
They killed the queen or she just?
they killed the queen, yeah. They followed her, she got out, they followed her immediately and started stinging her. I opened it real quick, tried to rescue her, and she was already gone.
Did they raise her up?
No, I finally broke it down. Yeah. So 3 days minimum. I like to just let them be. I mean, unless you have another queen, there's really not a whole lot you're going to do, right? So just let it roll for 3 days, 5 days, probably better. And this is kind of, again, for people buying my queens, plan your requeening. Don't call up and you're in a crisis mode. I'm queenless, I need help, I need a queen today. Not many queen breeders or even queen producers are going to have a queen today. That's not how the game works. I have orders starting in September. So don't work in crisis mode. that's kind of true for queen rearing, beekeeping in general, and maybe life as a whole. So that's how I stick my JZBZ cages in there. And this was kind of an optional topic. I handle incubator, so once the queens are capped, I can put them in a decent incubator. Should I cover this or skip this?
It's 4 o'clock, so
4
if you're
o'clock.
taking questions, we should probably go on to
Okay,
that.
let's just wrap it up. Anybody have questions about the incubator, you can contact me. Well, that's all I had. We do have, a few moments for questions if anybody has a burning question that hasn't been asked yet. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you found this important for your future.